Rachel Briggs is a leading expert on hostage taking and first director of Hostage US and Hostage International, and also an associate fellow of the International Security Programme at the Chatham House think tank. Rachel Briggs, good afternoon to you.
Hello.
Hello. One of the things I think when you hear innocent people being taken hostage, we've heard of children, we've heard of parents. We just heard there from Sharon, and she says, why would you? What is the use of an old person who is in bed? I think it was her mum. Needed oxygen. What kind of hostage is that? What value does that have as a hostage? Or is it? It's the emotion. It's the emotional picture that it paints.
Yeah, I mean, our hearts go out to all of the families that are impacted in this way. I mean, I can't imagine just how terrifying this ordeal is already. It seems that there are, a couple of main motives that are apparent so far on the part of Hamas. Clearly, they were looking to sweep up, as they would sort of describe it, I'm sure, human shields. They want to bring Israelis and other Westerners into Gaza to provide some kind of human shield for them against, the inevitable attack that was always going to follow from Israel. What we don't know is how they will use those hostages going forward. It's very likely that concessions may be demanded. We've heard that Qatar may well be speaking to authorities to try to get some women and children released in return for some female Palestinian prisoners. No more details on that as now. But we talk about these issues kind of, we must remember just how terrifying it is for the families and for hostage takers. It's, a human being is a commodity, which I think for any of us sort of decent human beings is sort of quite unbelievable to comprehend that other human beings think that way.
I think, though, when you hear of hostage taking, you think of hostages being political or, military in terms of their value. I just don't understand the value of taking a child. I don't understand the political. I don't understand the political kind of currency of it.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about hostage taking is that it's almost the perfect tool of warfare because it's so personal, it's so emotive. You put a person, real person's face on the poster of what's going on. And, we know from recent history that, Israel is a country that fights hard for its citizens. I mean that in a sort of a literal but also a metaphorical way. It doesn't leave its people behind. And it has shown in recent years that it will keep going until it gets its people home. And so I can only assume that what the hostage takers are doing is trying to turn up the temperature, increase the pressure. They will be using this, no doubt, for PR in the days and weeks ahead. It's unthinkable for folks like us, but they will see their hostages as nothing more than a commodity and a tool, and it's unpleasant talking about it in those terms. But having spent 15, 20 years working in this space, I know that's how hostages are viewed by hostage takers.
And the scary thing about hostage taking is you kind of think, how will they be treated? How will they be killed? We've already had the threat from Hamas that if Israel doesn't give warning of missile strikes, it will start killing hostages. That's not usually the ultimate aim, is it, when you take a hostage, when a hostage is taken?
It's not, because, I use the commodity word again. I mean, for most hostage takers, the hostage has a value. As unpleasant as it is for you and I to think about it in those terms. And so while any hostage situation can never be described as anywhere close to pleasant for the person who's taken, in most cases, the incentive for the hostage takers is to keep the hostage alive and keep them healthy, and therefore maintain the asset that they have under their control. The challenge is so much bigger in this instance, because even if the hostage takers are trying to do that, of course, as Rushdie described in his piece from inside Gaza, the situation on the ground is one of the most perilous you could be facing today anywhere in the world. So the ability, even if you want to, the ability to kind of keep people safe is so much more difficult right now.
Rachel, thank you so much for your time with me. Rachel Briggs, leading expert on hostage taking, first director of Hostage US, Hostage International, and an associate fellow of the International Security Programme at the Chatham House think tank.